First story is titled, Am I the a-hole for refusing to take in my half-brother after my dad kicked me out when I was 7 months pregnant? I, female 32, lost my mother when I was young. My dad met my stepmom and got married to her shortly. I have a half-brother and we grew up together. I was dealing with issues and resorted to the outside for support. I found out I was pregnant when I was 17 and my dad was mad at me. He took away my college fund and saved it for my brother. He and my stepmom told me I needed to get a job since I wasn't going to college and ended up telling me to leave the house when I was 7 months pregnant. I lived with my ex's family despite issues I had with my ex until my daughter was 2 years old. We got separated and moved out from my ex family house and rented a place that I paid for by working at a restaurant. My daughter is doing well and is concentrating on school and art. I heard that my half-brother dropped out of college and that he got involved in debts that my dad ended up paying for. My half-brother went back to live at his parents' house with his pregnant wife, but my dad couldn't pay mortgage anymore and decided to sell the house, pay for debts, and buy a small apartment. My half-brother never reached out nor tried to have a relationship with me. I met him at the restaurant and he started telling me about what happened with my dad. I tried to end the conversation since I wasn't feeling comfortable, and 2 days after that, my dad was at my door. I told him he wasn't allowed to come in after he started asking about my daughter and suddenly started to care. I asked him why he came, and he went on about his health problems, his daughter-in-law's issues with my stepmom, and how the apartment was unbearable with the constant fights and arguments. He asked if I could take in my brother, since his wife can no longer stay with him and causing issues. He said that my apartment was spacious and it's only me and my daughter there. He said that his son can't afford a rent right now and that I should take this chance to get to know him and his family better. I told him I can't take him in. I didn't want to bring it up, but I reminded him that he kicked me out when I was 7 months pregnant. My dad told me that I'm his sister and needed to help and asked if I'd react differently if he was not my half-brother. The argument went on. He told me to not try to punish him by using his son and that my stepmom will then be right about me if I refuse. We haven't talked since, and I have mixed feelings about this. I feel awful, to be honest, and I don't even know how my daughter would react to this. Now for the top comments. Not the a-hole. Your father abandoned you in favor of his new family, and now that it's gone to crap, expects you to help him? Don't allow these people anywhere near you or your daughter. It's just too much for me to take. When I'm barely able to stand on my feet, I have experienced difficult times and my family didn't bother even ask how I was doing. They weren't even there for my daughter to try and have a relationship with her. My stepmom still feels the same about me and expects me to keep the peace. I think the best thing for you to do is to go no contact. Block them from all forms of communication and don't look back. Best of luck to you. Not the a-hole. Girl, no. Don't let him gaslight you into guilt. They kicked you out and forgot about you at one of the most vulnerable times in your life. Don't adjust anything for them. Your brother will figure it out if daddy stops saving him. You figured it out. No, ma'am. Don't allow any of this negativity into your space. And who cares what your stepmother thinks about you? She doesn't sign your checks. She doesn't pay your bills. And she doesn't help you with your child. Nope. Yeah, brother can go to a homeless shelter or something. Not the a-hole. He doesn't get to take away your college fund, give it to his son, then come back and ask for your help when his son squanders his opportunities. You're doing well for yourself and your daughter. And him adding that barb about his wife, who even cares what his wife thinks, especially after all this time? Stepmother couldn't even raise her own son to be independent and capable. What makes you think I care about her opinion? Now for the next story. Am I the a-hole for telling my youngest daughter that I cannot give her away at her wedding? Long backstory. I have 2 daughters, Anna, elder, and Carly, younger, who are a year apart. Carly and Anna were close when they were younger but drifted apart in their teenage years. I think she started resenting Carly because Carly always seemed to do well, academically and socially. Anna decided to take loans and go to a college she wasn't really a fan of. Carly got a full ride to Anna's dream college. Anna became very resentful after that. She was sure that Carly chose that college to rub it in Anna's face. I tried my best to accommodate them both. Anna refused to talk to Carly and didn't consent to any form of therapy. Carly refused to compromise as Anna kept being unreasonable. In the end, they both stopped talking to each other. Neither of them has ever asked me to choose between them. As long as I don't bring up the other or try to get them to reconcile, I have a good relationship with both of them. Now, Anna is a single mom with a 3-year-old kid, Alex, who is always in between jobs and in debt. Me and my now wife help out when we can. She receives a bit of child support, but I have to admit that she is struggling. Carly, on the other hand, lives comfortably, has an incredible job, and is living with her long-term boyfriend. Recently, Carly announced that her boyfriend proposed and that she wants to plan a wedding in 2022. She asked me to walk her down the aisle, and I may have cried a bit. However, Anna found out, and then she came over to my house and had a breakdown about how she always thought she would be the first to get married in the family, and she has always wanted me to give her away first. I tried to console her, but she ended up getting angry and told me that I should refuse to give away Carly or have a father-daughter dance with her at the wedding. At first, I refused, but she then threatened to cut off all contact between her/Alex and us. If Alex wasn't in the picture, I would have cut Anna off. As things stand, I need to consider Alex's well-being. Carly is staunchly child-free, and it's very possible that Alex is going to be my only grandchild. Without my help, Alex's life is just going to be much harder, and I cannot abandon Alex with a good conscience. While I understood that Carly would be upset, Alex was a child, and he is priority. I spoke to Carly, explained the situation. I told her that there was still time, and I would figure out a way to get Anna to change her mind. If not, I still promised her that I would still be very involved with her wedding, except those 2 things. Carly just laughed and told me not to bother with her anymore and told me she wasn't going to invite me to her wedding. I definitely know that Anna is an a-hole putting me in this position. But am I the a-hole for expecting Carly to be more understanding? Now for the top comments. You're the a-hole. You're letting your daughter and her selfish wants win. You're not choosing Alex. You're choosing Anna over Carly. Shame on you. If I were you, I'd call Anna's bluff. She sounds like she's not doing too hot in life. My guess is she'd go no contact for a week before realizing she needs all the support she can get. I agree with this assertion. You would not be abandoning your grandchild. Anna would be purposefully taking him away from you. Sounds a bit like you were just giving in to the daughter who throws the biggest tantrum. It sucks to see parents choose the selfish, bratty kid because of the grandkids, yet throw away their other daughter who is obviously not as important as she isn't providing you with grandkids. You're the a-hole. Stop rewarding bad behavior. Carly deserves to be walked down the aisle by her dad. I would also be prepared to bet that if Anna ever gets married, she will still expect you to walk her down the aisle and throw a tantrum to make it happen. You're the a-hole. Holy crap, are you the a-hole? Your oldest child has been an abusive monster to your younger daughter for the better part of her life, and as you've described it here, you've been complicit in it. The fact that you would even remotely entertain Anna's insane demand, grandchild or no, shows how unsupportive you've been. If you want any hope of keeping Carly in your life, tell Anna she's being ridiculous and you're not going to allow her to dictate the terms of your relationship with Carly. Jesus Christ, I can't believe you need someone to tell you this. You're the a-hole 100%. Neither of them has ever asked me to choose between them. Well, Anna just asked, and you gave in to her immediately. You just chose your overly jealous daughter over what? The one that was more successful? Carly's being punished because she was better in school, more social, etc.? How is that fair? And using your reasoning, as Carly will never give you grandchildren, is that the price of love to you? It sounds like Anna has been throwing herself a pity party because she doesn't want to come to terms with the fact that she is different than her sister. Not worse or better, but different. And you just validated her not coming to terms with that. I'm glad Carly uninvited you from the wedding. Who treats their daughter like that and still expects to be in their life? Now for the last story. Am I the a-hole for not following ex's wishes to not be involved with my son? Well, she was technically a fling, but I'll still say ex though. Anyways, I was a young and dumb 18-year-old who thought I was so cool for hooking up with an older married woman. She was 30, and that was considered older to me. I admit, it was not my proudest moment, but I was going through a bad time in my life and was making a lot of reckless choices. Things ended after 3 months and didn't hear from her again. Don't think I'll have enough characters to explain the whole story, so I will need to keep it brief. I found out we had a son together, Jay, who's now 20. He knew about me for years and found me. Her husband found out she cheated as soon as she got pregnant, but still stuck around while Jay was growing up. I never had a clue about his existence until now. When Jay reached out, he just wanted to get to know me, so we met up. From there, we started talking more regularly, and I learned about his home life. Jay doesn't get along with his dad at all, felt they were never close for as long as he can remember, and there was always this detachment that he didn't understand until he was told the truth. The more I spent time with Jay, the closer we became. It's made me feel sad, honestly, that I couldn't be in his life sooner and feel like I missed so much. We talk to each other regularly, and he comes to my house almost every other weekend. Safe to say, we've bonded quite a lot. A couple nights ago, I was contacted by my ex, and she told me Jay has completely pulled away from her husband and doesn't want to speak to him. She feels my relationship with Jay is what's causing this and asked me to limit contact with him. When I refused, she berated me for causing them problems and said I don't even belong in his life when I've only been a dad less than a year. I ended up getting some things off my chest that I didn't get the chance to do before since finding out I had a son. Our fight didn't get anywhere, and I haven't spoken to her. I did talk to Jay about this, and he said whenever he visited, they fought, and Jay got tired of his controlling behavior. Turns out, they were also fighting because of the fact Jay was spending more time with me. While it makes me feel good that my son wants to spend time with me, I do feel guilty that it's caused him to distance himself from my ex-husband. I feel like my presence has made their strained relationship worse, and I don't know if I'm being a selfish a-hole here by not limiting my involvement. I have encouraged Jay to speak with him, but he seems set on not wanting any more to do with him. Now for the top comments. Not the a-hole. He deserves a relationship with you. It's great. You welcome him with open arms and are treating him with honest and caring respect. It's clear he doesn't get enough of that at home. Also, don't blame yourself for being young and dumb. You were only 18, and she was the experienced adult who should know better. I wonder what people would say if it was a 30-year-old man who impregnated an 18-year-old. Edit. In case it wasn't clear, my last comment is to imply that this woman sounds like a predator. 18 is so young, and I hate that OP blames himself when what she did was very shifty. As for the strain on the marriage is from her cheating, she should have known your son would come and find you eventually. Sounds like your son's mother and her husband thought, as long as you weren't in the picture, they could pretend to get past the cheating. Not the a-hole. Your son is a grown adult and can choose to spend time with whomever he wants. If his stepdad did a better job bonding with him as a child, then maybe he wouldn't cast him aside like he is doing now. This drama is on them. 1. The mom cheated with OP. 2. Her husband stayed with her and resented a fair baby. 3. The mom never told OP he was a dad, then gets all pissy because he's getting involved now and only knew him for a year, because he only learned of his existence a year ago. Yeah, I think this drama is on them sums it up pretty well. Not the a-hole. Wow, you have done everything right and nothing wrong. Sounds like Jay unfortunately has a bit of a toxic life at home. Jay is a grown man and can make his own choices. I feel sad for Jay that he has felt that detachment from his, let's call him stepfather, but realistically, Jay should be and feel supported to get to know you. I know this as a dad. If I was in his situation, I would support my son to meet his bio dad. Hopefully that made sense. If crap hits the fan, I'd be prepared to take him in and show him the fatherly love he's obviously lacked for 20 years. It's what's made me regret my action the most, although I could never regret having Jay. He and his dad had to live with the consequences of our actions. Jay's been living on his own since he started college, so he's not currently living with them, but I'd still be willing to help out in the future if he ever needs it. I'm doing what I can to make up for the years we lost now. And that's the end of this video, folks. As always, leave a comment and hit like and subscribe. And if you want more of this content, turn your notification on to get updated on the latest videos. And I'll catch you in the next one. Stay safe.